Hey, it's always good being excited, love, isn't it? That's what it's all about. And being in that vibration is what we absolutely love. And, more people are in that vibration, which is just so important. Well, we're here today for a very, very special reason. Now, you've had so many beautiful books that have been birthed into the world, but
I know I am rather prolific.
it's fabulous. It keeps me on my toes anyway, and everybody else. Another one I've got to get, another one. That's what it's all about. But this book, The Golden Future: What to Expect and How to Reach the Fifth Dimension. There it is, looking absolutely beautiful. Now, like I said, a brand new book. It's out now, so everybody can get it. But on top of that, Diana, this book for me, and probably for everybody else watching and listening, this feels like the missing key that we've been missing. Now you're kind of going to show us the way to get there to the golden future.
Well, it is, because it's in 4 parts. The first bit is a bit about the history of the planet leading up to 2032. Then the second part is living in the 5th dimension, what it's going to be like. People won't have any ego, no aspirations, no desire to be better than anybody else. And in that frequency, all that energy is available for peace and happiness and to make lovely things happen. The third part is really important. It's the 12 steps right from the foundation of who you are to your stellar gateway. And it takes you through those steps into all the chambers of each chakra. Now, here's the exciting thing. My guide says that as you read this, and it's also coming out shortly in Audible, as you read about it, then the angels are with you, going through those chambers and clearing any stuck energy. So it actually releases you as you read it. When they told me that, I just thought, oh, wow. And then the last part is ascension tools, higher tools to propel you into the golden future. So those are the 4 parts of it. And I'm really excited because it's such an important time right now as we're moving forward.
Oh, well, you're speaking. There they go. That's what it's about. But it is, Diana. It's such an important time, and this book is coming out at the perfect time. I know we've talked many times, but there's an energy with this book that is just landing, and you can just feel the vibration. It's just not another book.
No, it's not.
It's
just
forward.
Really pushing everyone forward, because this is the most important time there's ever been in the history of the planet, as we know. And last year, Saturn's dominance started to end for the planet, and that started to allow Jupiter in, which is about expansion, which is about being more bountiful, having more abundance on the planet. And so this is now meaning that, of course, there's unrest taking place all over the world, because as the old is going out, it's making way for the new. We've got to clear out the old fully before we really start to build up. But this year, plans are being put into place by the people, for the people. Humanity is starting already to demand fairness. I mean, every time you look at, well, I don't read the paper or television, but whenever time I see a news thingy anywhere, it's always about something being released somewhere in the world or someone. And this is going to mean that higher quality leadership can come in. I do a particular meditation every morning, which is awesome, and it culminates going to the Intergalactic Council. And I ask again for the leaders that have been prepared to step forward, those who have got not only just high quality, but they're working with total integrity for the highest good of all, which is what leaders are supposed to do. And this is coming back. And so I just think the world is amazing, because already there are community hubs starting all over the place, sharing schemes, cooperative, and alternative ways of living. And grassroots economic movements growing and spreading. And the more communities there are, the more countries that are working cooperative, the more people make choices for the highest good, then everybody is going to participate in an economic transition that will help everyone.
And that's the most
I mean,
important
if your
thing, isn't
life
it?
is just based on having the biggest car and the biggest house, well, it's not going to be that easy. But if it's actually based on joy and helping people and nature, it's going to be lovely, and
It is.
cooperating with people.
And leading from the heart as well. I think that's so important. Is, you're talking about your materialistic things. We all know somebody that wants the big house, the big car, and at the end of the day, it means nothing. It really
Yeah.
doesn't bring anything, to humanity, to the earth, to anything. But actually, people leading from the heart and kind of thinking, what is it I really, really want to do? And listening. That's one of the most important things I found. And then it will never steer you wrong.
Well, no, your heart tells you everything, doesn't it?
Mm.
We've been so conditioned to listen to our minds and go through all the arguments. And actually, that's not really going to do it in the future. It's going to be about listening to who you are. But actually, we were talking before we came live on about crystals.
Yes,
So, I mean, I have to tell you this very exciting thing. I'm doing this event in October about raising the frequency of the entire planet. I mean, it's awesome. But the very first meditation on the day is raising the frequency of the third eye. And that's about abundance. It's about enlightenment. It's about clairvoyance. It's about all sorts of things. It's about seeing through illusion into truth. I mean, that's the absolute fundamental basis of it. It's about manifesting for the highest good. It's an incredibly powerful chakra. And it's also the chakra that's going to lead to world peace. Because in Afghanistan is the planetary third eye chakra. It's surrounded with beautiful mountains full of gems and all sorts of seams of sapphires and emeralds and all sorts of things. I'm not sure about sapphires, emeralds anyway, and diamonds and gold, all sorts of things. But that's destined to be the last place on Earth. But that's a reflection of the third eyes of humanity. So if on the 22nd of October we can get everybody to raise the frequency of their third eye, then we can bring the world into peace. When that happens, when there's peace and cooperation on the planet, the amethyst skull of Atlantis, which contains all the wisdom of Atlantis, that then releases its light around the planet. What that's going to do is light up all the crystals. Now, you've got these crystal hub shops all over the world. Well, all over England anyway.
Not yet.
I mean, they'll all be lighting up and illuminating because I'm sure you power your crystals up and you cleanse them, and they will all be radiating. And so if you've been doing ceremonies anywhere and your crystal holds the frequency of that ceremony, and that will radiate out. And this is going to make a huge difference because it's going to light up a portal in China that has been totally closed. And that portal, it's in the north of China in the mountains, and it holds pure white love energy. When that's released, it's going to go round the planet and open the higher heart of the masses, just what we were talking about. And to me, that's just awesome because that's going to make a huge shift in the way everybody thinks about everybody else. And that's going to bring in a totally new, previously unimagined energy on Earth. So, I mean, it's awesome. And then there are other ramifications as well. But it's just like that is just the beginning. Like it's going to open the portal from Jupiter and its ascended aspect Jumbe into Afghanistan. And that's going to bring abundance consciousness into the planet. It's going to bring all sorts of higher energies, expansion, so that humanity is going to start feeling very different.
It is exciting
it's
times, though, isn't it?
Awesome what is happening. Yeah.
It is lovely. I'm looking forward to that, and the energy will just be fabulous. So I'm sure everyone will participate in that because what a shift that will be.
Well, actually, that's just one of the meditations. Adrian Lear is doing a karmic Akashic record clearing,
Mhm.
and he's got the right energy to do that. He was a high priest in Andromeda, and he has just got that right energy to clear everything. And then we're doing this awesome monadic merge meditation. And so it's a process that we go through, and we work with masters, create an archangel ball around ourselves. Then we open our hearts, again, what we're talking about,
Yeah.
and send pure love to each of the planetary chakras. And what that does, the love unlocks the keys to the cosmic energies. And they're going to send higher cosmic energies down to us. Now, that's awesome. And not only that, we're going to 3 of the higher planet, well, no, not planets, but 3 of the higher planes, which are Helios, which is awesome. And Tim Wilde is going to anchor that energy for the planet and humanity. Now, 2000 years ago, Jesus incarnated, and he accessed and anchored the Christ light at a 7th dimensional frequency. During this meditation, we are collectively asked to go up into these particular planets and collectively draw down the 11th dimensional light. Now, the one in Helios is the divine masculine, but it's also bringing forth the energy of everything we can be. So that's going to be anchored by Tim Wilde. So we all then collectively access the energy from Andromeda, which is the higher heart of the universe. And that holds a perfect balance of love, peace, and wisdom at an 11th dimensional frequency. We all bring that down, and that's being anchored into the planet by Mia Khafra. Then we go, Adrian Lee. Then we go up to Lyra. Now that we're going to be given access to go through the Stargate of Lyra right into the dazzling white unicorn kingdom, where every energy that we need, every quality that we need to merge with our monad is held. And as we bring that down, that's going to be anchored into the planet by Mia Khafra. I mean, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we all have our monadic merge, we've been prepared to take in all those energies. We are bringing them into Earth, and we're going to change Earth from a golden centered planet to a golden white centered planet, higher frequency. So it radiates that out into the universe. And then after our monadic merge, wait for this bit, Chris, wait for it. You might shoot out of your chair. When we've done that, all our monads merge together in the universe, and this illuminates the entire universe.
That's amazing, isn't it? How beautiful will that be?
I mean, it is so important. And then we go to the Intergalactic Council, and we've been told, well, I've been told, and I do this every day, as I said, I've been told that if enough people ask, then Serapis Bey will place the pure white flame of Atlantis over the entire planet. Now that dissolves lower energies, protects the planet too. What actually happened was I asked Serapis Bey if he would do that, and he said, oh, I can't take that decision. It's too important. You would have to ask the Intergalactic Council. I went to the Intergalactic Council, and they said, we need to consult to discuss that. So I went back next day, and they said, we will grant permission for this to happen if everybody comes together during the monadic merge meditation to ask us, and then we will give that permission. And literally, when I do this, billions of souls around the universe are coming in to support the energy. I've never, ever experienced anything like what is happening with this. It really is to change the entire planet and raise the frequency. And so anything can happen. as you know, sorry, not getting a word in,
It's
as you know, in 2032, the new blueprint for Earth is being activated.
yeah.
And that's when we are really, really moving fully in to the new golden age. And so Gaia will be fully fifth dimensional by then, regardless of whatever anybody does. And the heart of Gaia is Glastonbury, and that will then be in total alignment with Venus and will bring a clear channel to source, bringing that quality of love in. So love is coming in different frequencies from all over the world, but then universal love will touch us with a sense of belonging. You know, this is what so many people haven't had, this feeling of belonging.
Yep.
And this is what the golden age is about. We're moving into this golden future where people are with their soul families, where they are with their soul friends as well, in the right place for their soul, and where they can just feel totally comfortable and that they belong. And so all the people that have felt different and haven't understood what the world is about are going to come into alignment
and come into their own, you know, and feel and be themselves, you know, which is so important, you know, because there's so many people, you know, out there that have not felt, you know, don't feel comfortable, they don't feel I'm in the right place, and you know, have not found peace with that. But knowing, you know, we will get there in 2032, where that vibration of love, basically, isn't it? You know, we'll all be living in that higher vibration, which, you know, is so beautiful. And Diana, do you think, because so many more people, you know, that I meet day in, day out in the Crystal Hut stores, you know, you'll meet many people as well, your readers, your listeners, you know, their experiences with crystals opening up, it's so many more people doing that. Do you think that's their inner preparation for the golden age?
I think absolutely. So many people are preparing. Crystals is just one way. People are saying to me, oh, I've decided to do martial arts.
Yeah.
And that's a really strong thing to prepare. No, Tim Wilde, he does martial arts. And where I asked him about coming and anchoring the energy of Helios. And he said, the Intergalactic Council has been preparing me all year for this mission. I didn't know what it was, but now I know that they've been preparing my physical body to hold the energy so that I can do that on the day. And that's martial arts, which a lot of people think, but actually there's yoga, there's a million things. Even people walking or taking responsibility for their bodies. All of this is part of the preparation for the new age.
Yeah, which is lovely, you know, and some people won't know it, but they're already doing it, which I think shows that they're so in tune, you know, and they're doing things like this, and it's lovely to see. Another big thing as well, which I also see change with at the moment, and it's people talk about education. Now, for me, growing up, education, school, I didn't really fit in that box. I really struggled with it completely. And there was something, you know, on Sunday night when heartbeat was, you know, I knew I had an exam tomorrow for German, and I just know I wouldn't do well. Crystal's got me through that, which was amazing. But, you know, in 2022 and that golden age, how will education change, you know, for our children? And because it's so important, isn't it?
Well, you'll be surprised. It's actually going to be tailored for the needs of the children. So far, it's been tailored for the politicians. Big schools, more kudos, etc. So children and teachers are going to be valued. There's going to be much more right brain learning in it. So this is promoting creative ideas, working with social skills, teaching children empathy. You know, all of these things they did in Atlantis. Every child in Atlantis looked after a dog, a cat, and a rabbit, you know, so they were all learning how to empathize with other creatures. And of course, there'll be a lot more teaching with computers. But computers are going to radiate a higher frequency energy. So the frequencies going out are not going to be harmful. The other thing, of course, is the new children coming in, we're already starting to see this, but this is going to be increasing more and more. They're coming in with a crystalline brain structure. Now, this does not mean hard. This means it has the qualities of crystals. And this means that they have startling, amazing gifts. Because if you're a crystal, you're already a computer.
Yep.
And so you've got a massive memory. It means that you can link telepathically, automatically with other computers, in other words, with other people. You can work things out. You can do amazing things. You can use your mind to connect to the star systems. The children are going to be utterly, totally different with their capabilities, their gifts, their talents, that they'll be able to levitate. They'll be clairvoyant. So they'll see the auras of everybody, see into people, what's going on with them. And that means that everybody has to be honest. You can't be dishonest if you know everybody knows. What's the point?
Can't hide
and
that.
You know, when everybody is totally honest, then everybody feels safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. You feel safe walking down the street. You feel safe to leave things outside your door. You leave your front door open. Everybody is on that frequency of integrity and honesty. What a difference it makes.
Yeah, of course it does.
Like people are spiritually and psychically linked when you've got a crystalline brain structure. Of course, they'll all have higher heart consciousness. And so people will be living with their extended families, everybody warm, caring, supportive. Just imagine how that feels. Also, of course, in the fifth dimensional consciousness, everybody is abundant. You don't have to earn a living. You can relax. You can live a leisurely life and do what gives you soul satisfaction. And of course, one of the first things to bringing back the 12 strands of DNA is relaxation. Now, this is the big thing we don't do. We race around. And I've given in the Golden Future book one of the exercises that they did in Atlantis for relaxation, using different color coding going through the body to relax to a cellular level. Even children were taught to relax to a cellular level then. And of course, that means you can have total healing, total health all the time. I mean, that's one thing that Archangel Raphael is starting to do for people now, is activate their fifth dimensional health blueprint. So he, at the back of your head, at the stem of your, behind your third eye, is your health blueprint. And so he is starting to build that up to the fifth dimension.
Wow, I love that.
It's just so much fun. And, you know, people are going to be much more sociable. They're going to have much more fun, celebrate everything. And, you know, we think of celebration as alcohol. But in the Golden Future, when you, excuse me, when you don't need to change your vibration, you don't need to be boosted with alcohol, you're happy and joyful anyway, you don't need anything to alter your mood. So it'd be totally different.
Definitely.
So houses, for example, there'll be much more beautiful shapes and more rounded, because we'll be able to extrude plant material to allow anything to happen very easily. Now, the climate change may make it very difficult for some people. This means that we'll have to be much more flexible with how we have our houses. Now, they're all going to be totally ecological, etc. Store water, do all those things. But if you're in a place where it's incredibly hot, it may have to be in a mountain or underground. But because the consciousness of the people is joyful, they'll be able to have fabulous lives in these places. May have to be on the water because so many low-lying islands are going to be flooded. I mean, all these coastal cities, which are all industrial, they will eventually go underwater. But some will create a purified energy above. See what climate change is doing, and this is something that happens every few 100,000 years, is we've had ice all over the Arctic. That has been purifying the land.
Mm-hmm.
That ice is now melting. And so the land under it will be pure for new golden cities to be built. And so people will congregate there, where you're walking on land that is supporting you by being very high frequency. The fact that it's now all melting means that a lot of islands will be underwater. A lot of places that are on the surface now will be underwater. Well, that water will purify all those places so that they can emerge later. But new islands are going to come up that have already been purified under the water, where people can live.
I love that.
So
people be ready to go with it, which is going to be beautiful.
Everyone's going to be ready. It'll be different, but we're going to be much more flowing with it. It's not like, oh, how scary, we're going to have to move. It's going to be, right, we're all going to just transfer together to this beautiful place. And then when everything's done cooperatively and together, it feels easy.
Yeah, and of course it does, because you've got that support network there, and everyone's on the same vibration, as you, me, and everybody else. So Diana, so people right now that are kind of ready, I know we've got 10 years, but for the golden age, how can we keep that faith and keep transitioning until it comes?
Basically, it's on a day-to-day basis. Watch what you're doing. I would also say, ask every day for the qualities that you need. I've been doing this meditation every day that I had to do on the 22nd of October, and I do not feel like the same person as I was when I started, because every day the angels put different qualities into me, and it's changed me. I can do things I couldn't do before. Ask for what you need to get you there, and that's really, really, really important. You can ask Metatron to place his golden orange bubble around you and your energy field. That automatically lifts you into the 5th dimension. And at that point, you might take different decisions. You act with kindness towards people. It changes you.
It definitely
just
does.
Make I am affirmations. When you are connected to your monad, then you're saying I am, and all sorts of different things can happen in your life.
I love that.
It's amazing. I mean, in the book, I talk about ascension flames and triple ascension flames. So an ascension flame is an 11th dimensional flame that a being or an angel puts over you. And of course, you're in that energy for a fraction of a second. Triple ones are when 3 different beings working on perhaps similar but slightly different energies put theirs over you. And oh my goodness, that is so powerful. In fact, in my recordings, I've got triple ascension flame workshop that I've done, which people are just mind blown because of the energy that comes through.
It's amazing. So many people out there, Diana, as well, obviously the golden future, what to expect and how to reach the 5th dimension. We said it's a key, and it is a key. And for everybody that's watching and listening to this, that's a really good starting point, isn't it? For everyone to kind of get a grasp what it is, and where to kind of move on as well and prepare.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, if you do just something, I'd say have a spiritual practice every day. That shifts you enormously. I didn't realize that I'd actually stopped doing my spiritual practices for a while. And then somebody said, you're not doing it. And I thought, wow. And I did. From that moment, I went back into doing a spiritual practice. Then my guide gave me this one that I have to do. And I do it every single day. And I know it's transformed my energy. We are just so incredibly blessed to be here now and paving the way for the golden future for humanity.
And that's what it's all about, isn't it? I absolutely love that. Well, Diana, congratulations with the book. It's going to be fabulous. It's needed. I'm so happy that it's here, because we spoke about it probably maybe 2 years ago, and,
Oh,
maybe
I
further
know, I
back than
know.
that. But to
Yeah.
see it, I know I don't have it right now, but I will, and to have it here for everybody, it just feels that it's the right time. So, from me, and I'm sure from everybody else listening and watching, thank you for your time as well.
My pleasure.
I don't think maybe you get enough thanks sometimes. So thank you from me, my love. Within that,
Thank you.
Diana.
Bless you.
No worries. Well, thank you for the chat. Lots of love to you.
Pleasure.
And of course, we'll catch up very soon, darling. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Lots of love. Take care.